Okay, the next part of the program is we're going to have 3 student athletes speak. You say, why 3? Because the 2 ladies are part of our Student Leadership Council, and they've been a very, very big part of what we've been doing as a conference from a student leadership standpoint. So before I start, though, if there's other people in our crowd here that are part of our Student Leadership Council, would you all please stand? Please stand. Student leadership reps, stand. Okay? Give them a round of applause. Okay, our first speaker, our student athlete tonight, comes from Faulkner, and to introduce our special speaker is Coach Rorik from Faulkner University.
I know my team back here is worried because I'm so long-winded, so they're going to be thinking that I'll be talking too long. I have the privilege of introducing someone who's meant a lot to Faulkner University. It meant a lot to our women's basketball program, and she means a lot to me personally, Morgan Holland DeWitt. She is very humble, so I'm going to embarrass her for just a second. I'm going to talk about some of her accomplishments. In our program's history, I'm going to have to read this. She is 2nd all-time in points scored, 2nd in rebounds, 3rd in assists, 4th in offensive rebounds, 5th in steals, and 6th in three-pointers made. She's been honorable mention All-American, All-Conference 3 times. She was on the All-Freshman team 100 years ago. She's on the SSAC Student Leadership Council. She's been a scholar athlete. Like, she's done a lot in her time here. I personally don't know a Faulkner without Morgan. She's been here 6 years. I've been here 5. So it's going to be weird when she graduates. She's grandma on our team. You know, from the time that I stepped on campus, she was the heartbeat of the program when I got here. So to me, Faulkner women's basketball and Morgan Holland DeWitt, they're the same. So it's going to be weird without her. Great programs are built on people like Morgan. You know, she's what Uncle Al calls a spiritual warrior. Her faith isn't something that she just turns on when it's convenient. She lives it out daily in the classroom, on the court. And when things get hard, especially, you know, she's always the anchor for us. So to Morgan, just want to say thank you for your leadership, your faith, your loyalty, and thank you for the standard that you've set every day for us.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Coach, for that introduction. And thank you, Mike Hall, for the opportunity you give me tonight to speak, and for all you do for the SSAC. Us athletes, we truly appreciate it. Can y'all hear me now? Okay. I also want to give a thank you to President Henry for your vision, guidance, and commitment to our university community. Your support means so much to us, and we are honored by your presence this evening. And before I get started, I wanted to take a moment, Mike did this earlier, but just to thank everyone who helped make tonight possible. Those who prepared the food, set the tables, all the behind-the-scenes details. We may be the ones in the spotlight, but it's because of y'all that we're able to do this tonight. I promise I won't take much of your time. I just want to share a little bit of my journey, the highs, the lows, and what God has taught me through it all. And I want to start with a night I thought was the end. January 22nd, 2023. It was around 6:30 on a Sunday evening. I was driving back to Faulkner for practice, talking to my little sister about her basketball practice, just an ordinary conversation on a random night, and then in an instant, everything changed. Suddenly, I was being tossed around in my seat. Everything went white. Time felt frozen, and in that moment, the only name that came to mind was Jesus. Not a plea, not a question, just his name. Someone had swerved, hit me, and ran me off the interstate. I ended up about 50 yards through a tree line, down a hill. When the car finally stopped, nothing else mattered. Not basketball, not schoolwork, and not my plans for the week. Just that moment. That night reminded me of something bigger. There is more to life than a game we play or the work we do. When you think you might lose everything, you quickly realize what truly matters. I've been at Faulkner for 6 years. Great seasons, awards, big moments. But lying there that night, none of that gave me peace. What gave me peace was knowing who I belonged to. Not long after, I was praying about whether to come back for my COVID year. I asked God for clarity, and I felt peace about the decision. Then, in the third game of the season, I tore my ankle ligaments. I asked God for clarity, and He gave me crutches. Surgery, rehab, starting over again. And I'll be honest, that wasn't the answer I wanted, especially with all of this happening the day after my husband was deployed. I know I'm not the only one in this room who's gone through hard seasons or prayed for one thing and received something completely different. We've all faced seasons we didn't expect. Times when life threw us a curveball and somehow it hit us right in the face. Those moments are hard. They make us question, they make us grow, and they remind us that we can't take a single day for granted. The truth is, we don't always get to choose our circumstances, but we do get to choose how we respond. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow and to lean on the people and the faith that carry us. One of the most beautiful parts of these years has had little to do with the game itself. It's the people. The ones who celebrate your highs, lift you in your lows, and sit with you in the moments no one else sees. For me, this is where I found some of my best friends, even my bridesmaids. Competing in this conference hasn't just shaped me as a player, it's also built respect, relationships, and memories I'll carry forever. The talent, discipline, and heart in this room from every team is truly something special. Iron sharpens iron, and it's a blessing to compete alongside and against people who push you to be better. And because of that, I do want to take a moment to thank the people who have made this journey possible. To my teammates, thank you for every early morning, every late night practice, and every sprint that has made us question our life choices. You've been more than teammates, you've been my family. And I've learned just as much from you off the court as I have on it, and I'll carry those memories with me forever. Grandma Mo loves y'all. To my coaches, Coach Rowe, Coach Jake, and Coach Sutton, thank you for believing in me, challenging me, and holding me to a standard that shaped not just my game, but my character. Your leadership and constant support have meant more to me than I can put into words. To my trainers, thank you for getting me back on my feet after every setback and standing beside me on the hard days. And to Uncle Al, who's not here tonight, he's our team chaplain. Thank you for the early morning high fives and the spiritual guidance you've poured into all of us over these years. And of course, none of this would have been possible without my family who is here tonight. To my parents, thank you for never missing a game, even the 10-hour trips, and for teaching me to get back up every time life knocked me down. Mom, thank you for your gentleness and your constant encouragement. And Dad, thank you for pushing me to be my best and for the long talks that shaped me not just as a player, but as a person. To my little sister, thank you for keeping me laughing and reminding me not to take life too seriously. A cheerful heart is good medicine, and you've been that for me more times than you know. And lastly, to my husband, there truly aren't enough words. You've loved me through surgeries, rehab, deployments, and away trips. You've been my constant, my safe place, and my rock. Thank you for the unseen sacrifices, the prayers, and the steady support. I would not be standing here tonight without you. I love you. And as I close, 6 years ago, I came to Faulkner to play basketball, but God used basketball to shape so much more. The ball stops bouncing one day, but your faith, your character, and who you become, that last. 2 verses have carried me through this journey. Colossians 3:23, which most people probably know. It reminds us to work at everything with all of our heart, as working for the Lord. Every practice, every setback, and every win, it all matters when you give it your best. And Proverbs 31:25 says she is clothed with strength and dignity and can laugh at the days to come. This verse taught me that I can face uncertainty with joy because I know who holds my future. That night on the interstate reminded me that life doesn't always go as planned. Sometimes we get run off the course. But when we walk in faith, lean on the people around us, and keep moving forward, what feels like a setback can become growth. So to the younger athletes in the room, treasure these years, love your people well, and compete with gratitude. And trust that even the hard seasons are shaping you into who you're meant to be. Thank you.